hands, so take care of it. You're amplified. In the face. Don't distract this beastie. It's working. This is GURF'S turf, and they don't like visitors. That's a PUTTIUPPER PLAZA. Some were actually trying to build something before it all started to end. See that e-waste? You could use that for sure. You've reached the end of the line. Bet you can find CHU-CHU here. Take this. CHU-CHU knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him. Claims rails are like rules. If you follow them the way you're supposed to, everything good in life can roll your way. Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track or look for a way to hit that switch? He thinks you're on a dark path right now, but there's no reason you can't find a wheelhouse and get yourself turned around. Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be. Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. If you could go back, would you switch tracks or keep chugging along the one you're on? Thinks everyone has. No one's perfect every time. Feels like the world's on a runaway chug straight over a cliff. Says the world might have lasted longer if you hadn't stomped on the go pedal so hard. Thinks you shouldn't work with the Jagni. They once tried to bolt one of their masks to his face. And it hurt, but he kept the mask, just in case. But let's not get derailed. Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station. As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is CHU-CHU. He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation. Says sometimes life runs off the rails, but it's always better when they're good and greased. He's convinced the tracks are like the paths our lives take, and you must deal with the outcome, even if you didn't lay them yourself. This time, though, he was sidetracked and needs a new wingnut to get back on track. Wingnuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugger out there. The challenge is taking them off, so he's happy you're here to do it for him. Says he knew you would, like he knows the way the rails run. You need to swivel the globus's bearings. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Yuck! Biohazard. Sickening. wheel the control box handles to buzz the wire. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Wired up and ready to go. Fits you well. Let's see. Night falls like a giant around here. You can make so many amazing things out of wood scrap. This might be the end of everything as we know it. Bet you could make something shiny out of that metal. The WINGNUT chug tunnel. It goes on forever. easy for things to hide down here. There's a serenity about this spot. Now that's loot. Boom, boom. Bites the dust. The day is wasting. Time to get to it. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Just a few moves left. Make them count. CHU-CHU says he knew you'd come through. If someone makes a stop at your station, it's for a good reason. But he understands no one gets their tracks greased for free. He'd be happy to part with his spare grease sprinkler, as he believes it's a great fit for any of your business that needs to be unstuck. He keeps it safe in a box on the handcart, in case of emergency. It's on the cart. He wants to keep it close by. In general, you won't have much time to act in case of an emergency. CHU-CHU says you should help yourself to the grease sprinkler. It's a versatile tool from the bygone, a last of its kind, so don't let it go to waste. He's convinced you'll put it to good use, as there are lots of stuckies out there that need greasing to open. Seems glad you think so. You're on the right rail. CHU-CHU says he can't wait to get out of this place. Hopes to see you again soon. You shouldn't worry about smashing up the box. CHU-CHU has no use for it now. CHU-CHU says he feels strongly about helping his next, just like you did for him. He's convinced there was a bigger reason you met. Sometimes the wrong train will take you to the right place. He believes you've got what it takes to make a difference. He's witnessed it himself. Says fate is like the rails. They lead in certain ways, and you can only fight that for so long if you want to get anywhere. CHU-CHU's thrilled you found the Ark. Just imagine how much faster than a chug that thing must be, and no rails needed. Bets it could fly circles around any chug yard. Makes him dizzy to think about it. With the world ending and all the chugs going with it, it's fun to think about what kinds of yards the Ark could take you to instead. Hopes you'll be careful with the Ark. That's the last one around these parts. Wonders who you might call aboard the Ark with you.
So what we have here is someone looking for a way out if everything fails. There's a seat open on the Ark, but why would you want this company?
I'm so glad you chose that. We're born alone, we live alone, so let's not meet the end on our own.
We are better off on our own alone. Everyone else are just means to an end.
Being alone is not the same thing as being lonely. And now we don't have to be lonely. It'll all work out in the end.
The end must justify the means. So let's hope the Ark is strong enough to carry us all into the future.
Wishes he could go with you, but he couldn't bear to watch what you do with the Ark. CHU-CHU says he's ready to pack up and leave. Says goodbye to you. Whiz says that there's no plan to confront the Merc-Puff until the octopod is properly armed. He knows you'll need something that packs enough boom to put a dent in that shell, or better yet, head. Pyro sticks will do the trick. He says his old friend Boom makes all things that go bang. There's a rumor that some of Boom's pyro sticks shot off and are out there roaming free. You should keep an eye on the horizon for pyros. If you're fast, you have a shot at catching some of them before they go off. He's a peculiar little fellow that's been fiddling with splodies since he was a kidling. It runs in his blood. Their family recipes pack a punch.